Hi, Rhonda. I am so excited because today is my first ever Testimony Tuesday. And I couldn't be like more excited than it being with you. And I know right before we hit record, we were just kind of reminiscing over how we even met and got started. And so before we kind of get into today's interview, I want to just I want to just let everybody know that I truly believe that this was a divine appointment. We're coming up on our 3 years of working together, and it's just so crazy for me that 3 years ago in January, I was studying to be an integrative fertility health coach.
Wow.
And pursuing a way to help people get pregnant naturally since I struggled with infertility for 2.5 years, and that was really laid upon my heart. And I still have such a sweet spot in my heart for that. But as I was like trying to build out my own personal brand and resources and utilize the GetOiling system, like people were coming to me, for help. And I had been helping with that and Canva. And a dear friend, I had worked on her website, and she was my first ever paying client in March of 2022. And she just happened to go in for a lymphatic massage from you, and it sparked conversation, and nonetheless you got referred to me. And so we were just kind of going over the long overwhelming email that was initially sent, and I just goes to show that like it was me taking a risk, stepping out there, putting myself out there and really trying to show my value. And then your husband, right? You said your husband was my biggest cheerleader after
Was.
after you read the email to him, and I just was like, thank you. Thank you. Um, anyway, and so I just want to say thank you. Thank you for taking, that risk on me and seeing my value then, and then still seeing that value in me today. And so Rhonda was my second ever client. And so Rhonda, can you tell everybody just a little bit about like what you do, what you were doing at that time, and were you using Get Oiling? How long have you have been using it? Just kind of give us a little backstory.
Okay. So I've been with Young Living for 15 years and started out with Marketing Sense, a little website. I don't even know if that's still a thing or not, but that's what I started out with. And I didn't even start building a business until I was in Young Living about 2.5 years, and then started sharing with others, and then had Marketing Sense, and then had Get Oiling. So I got Get Oiling, I think we're at 6 years ago now. But I
Okay.
had the basic plan. I don't know, is it $10, $15 a month, something like that. And the only thing that was customized was you had a little blurb about yourself and a picture, and that was it. So it was just like everybody else's. And I did absolutely nothing with it except paid, that flat fee every single month. It did not serve any purpose for me. I mean, I had a website, but I wasn't utilizing it at all. At that point, I was not even doing lymphatic work, or I was doing lymphatic work, but wasn't doing raindrops. So the only way that I was promoting myself was on social media, and then of course word of mouth. So then I have your friend, that come to me for a lymphatic detox, and she just happens to say to me, I've got this girl who customized my website, and I remember I was working on her back and doing these little feather techniques, and I just froze, and I said, "What'd you say?" Because I had just said to my husband, I think this is it. I've been paying, $10 a month, $15 a month, whatever it was back then, for 3 years. I'm wasting my money. That if I'm not going to do anything with it, which I did not, and I just could not figure out how to customize it. Get Oiling is absolutely amazing. They do all of these weekly educational training videos, but I couldn't do it. It just wasn't my thing. It was overwhelming. I could not figure out how to take that first bite and to break it down and to just get started. And so consequently, I did nothing. And so that week, I had just said to my husband, I think I'm getting rid of this. I mean, now I know it's minuscule, but it's not serving any purpose at all. And I'll just go with, word of mouth. And then she tells me about you. I reach out to you, and you tell me, I'm only the second client. and my website was more detailed than what your other friends was. So it's going to be a lot more involved. And, you send me this huge email, and I go to my husband that night, we're sitting on the couch, and I was like, okay, remember that girl Brandy I was telling you about and the website? And he goes, yeah. So I start telling about, the email and the cost. And he's like, what are you waiting on? Why have you not hired her? So, Brandy and I were just looking at our emails, and I said, I mean, you sent me a book. It's so professional, so well detailed. And my brain is going, what? What did that mean? What did she just say? I mean, those are not my words. This is not my bailiwick, right? And so my short response to you was, okay, you're hired. I need to go finish making tortillas, and then I'll finish out the form.
Isn't that great? I just love that. Now every time I see tortillas, I'm just gonna have a small little reminder, like that's where it all started.
Yes.
Tortilla making.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Okay, and so we know that you weren't using it. Those were pretty much your struggles. You had it for 2.5 years. So whenever we started working together, we basically took yours from the basic pre-made template that a lot of people get, which is great if if you're just getting started.
Right.
If maybe you're only a brand partner with Young Living and you want to have something to share with people, it's a great way to get started. I agree. But at some point, if you are an oily entrepreneur, you want to promote yourself. You want to be able to have people book you, especially if you are an instructor, if you're a practitioner, if you offer services in some way. And so that's basically what we help do. We help customize like a home and an about page for you. Like oils are a big part of your life, but they're not the only thing. So this gives you a space where you get to highlight everything about you. And so your website has even grown a lot over the last 3 years. And that's
Yes.
what I like really try to instill in people and let them know is that this is a living and breathing
Hmm.
space online. Like it gets to grow and evolve with you. And aside from social media, which is rented space, we were
Hmm.
also just talking about that, about how I can't even go back and look at our previous chats
Hmm.
because my Facebook account got hacked, disabled, suspended forever and ever. Amen. And trying to get it back from Metaverse is like impossible. So I had to start a whole new account, and I lost every chat, DM, photo, video, reel, any group I was a part of, page I had, anything like that. And so it just made really kind of my mission even more like powerful and impactful to me is like, okay, it's a great place to get eyes, to connect, create some community. But at some point, they've got to have some place to go. Where is that for you? It's your website. It should
Right.
be. And
Right.
I love GetOiling so much because it's like a one-stop shop.
Hmm.
I had a WordPress website before. You said you had Marketing Sense, and I'm fairly certain Marketing Sense was one where maybe you could customize a little bit, but you couldn't like have a custom homepage and all of that. And so with GetOiling, you have the ability to customize every page. You can create landing pages, which are ways for you to offer things for free and in exchange for information, right? Like a lead captures.
Right.
Build and grow your email list, nurture your people, build a community. You also have the ability to blog. So that is something that you've started to do, right?
Yes.
You can have a members only area for your community, oily community. You can have coaching. You can offer classes, programs, courses,
Mhm.
um, built-in Zoom, text marketing, like a whole booking system. No more having to use Calendly because when we first did your website, we were doing it through Calendly, and so that's
Right.
something that we just recently got set up on yours. So I know you mentioned there's so much to do. It was just very overwhelming. So can you maybe talk about what the process? I know I've tried to simplify my process, and I'm even constantly looking at ways that I can streamline it now.
Mhm.
But what was just the process like going in there? How did you feel when you started to see something that was reflected more towards you?
So when you first started working with me, I remember telling my husband, how am I supposed to extract from my brain and put it into your brain what I'm looking for? Because I don't know anything about a website. I don't know how to customize it, but I know what I want. I know what I want it to look like. And how am I supposed to regurgitate that, through osmosis to just tell you? So you're an incredible listener. And so you're listening to what I like. What are my favorite things? What are my favorite colors? I'm drawn to sunflowers. I love that flower. I love the color sage. And so you're listening to all of this, and you got a little history of me and how I got started with Young Living and what is my true passion. Because there is more to me than just Young Living. And so that's what the website is so amazing for, is it's a one-stop shop for everything that I do, everything that I am. Because like you said, Facebook, social media, wherever you're at, Twitter, Instagram, it may go away or you may lose your account. But if you own your domain with GetOiling, then that website is yours. And so when I first started sharing with you what I wanted, and you start creating the homepage and the services page and the about me section, and I don't think that you, if I can remember right, I don't think that you shared a whole lot with me in the beginning. You wanted to wait until you had a good collection of stuff on the website, said just little bits and pieces. And I remember the first day you said, "Okay, are you ready? Okay, open it up." And I want you to see that, it's all in messaging, right? And I open it up, and I remember, I don't think I've ever shared this with you. I remember shaking a little bit, like not crying, but just like a nervousness out of sheer and complete joy.
Ah,
How did it? I'm probably going to cry. Don't do that. We're both empath. We
I
got a
know.
live video. Just that overwhelming satisfaction. Someone understood me. Someone was able to take what I wanted and to put it in life form. I see them, I started saying black and white, in color on this website, and it was me. It spoke to me. You knew exactly what I wanted because you have such an incredible gift, such a heart, such a listening ability. Every one of your clients are totally different. Every website you've ever built doesn't look the same because you listen to every single client, right? So I remember reading my website, even though I sent you the blurb, don't cry, I sent you the blurb, but you brought it to life. And there's picture of me that I gave you. It's this blurb that I wrote, but you brought it to life in this graphic and in this homepage. And I'm like, that's me. I would be happy to share this with someone, that I can say, this is who I am. This is what I do. This is how I can help you. This is my life mission. And oh, by the way, I have these awesome recipes. It's like, it's everything. So my goal, because you have shared this with me, because you have educated me in what my website should be, every single time I post something, every single time I talk about something, I should be able to revert people right back to my website. So I'm a believer, and I always feel like whenever I'm talking to somebody, I need to point them back to the cross. Okay, so there's two things: to the cross and to my website. It's like those are always my two goals, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, I do raindrops. Oh, here's my card. Here's my website, because I wrote a blog about the raindrops. And oh, you can schedule from my website as well. Oh, yes, I do lymphatic work. And here's the link on the blog that I wrote. I love this granola recipe. Oh, let me share with you my recipe, because I have a whole tab on recipes, right? And oh, by the way, I do essential oils. And did you know that vitamin D is not an actual vitamin? We need to get outside and have sun, right? And so, Brandy's been encouraging me every time you make a Facebook post, which I ignored you this morning, and I talked about vitamin D, and I did not make it into a blog just because I wanted to get out something quick, but I probably will. But every time you talk on social media about something, turn it into a blog. And so blog about that. So my website is a one-stop shop. And I am now starting to listen to the GetOiling weekly website. And I'm just going to brag about myself. Let me pat myself on the back. I learned how to set up events all on my own. And so I teach local classes. And plus I do Zoom classes with my team. And so I set up an events page. And so I'm sharing about that. Oh, my Amazon affiliate link. Okay, if Brandy had not set that up, there's no way for me to share, because I don't have an Amazon storefront. I'm not an influencer. I just have an affiliate link. So I have to have some place to be able to share that. Well, the website is it. And I have people all over the world buying things from my Amazon website, even things that's not on my favorites page, because then once they're in my affiliate link, then they can shop for TV and socks and whatever it is that they need. Not only has that been a huge financial blessing, it's been a way to constantly get my name in front of people. I want to be known as an oily person, but again, there's more to me. And so every morning I pull up my Amazon affiliates link, Creator Hub, the website, and people are buying things from my website. And I have not promoted my Amazon affiliate link or my website in 2 weeks. And every single day, people are buying things from my affiliate link. Why? Because of the website. Because
Yeah.
of what you did for me. And then, got to share this. I shared this with Brandy a couple weeks ago, where I had a new client for lymphatic and ionic, it's an ionic foot bath. That was it. And I always say, how did you hear about me? Where'd you find out about me? Because I don't know her at all. And I try to snoop and I go to Facebook. I'm like, I don't know her. And she said, oh, I just Googled holistic services in Edmond, Oklahoma, and I popped up. I would not have popped up if I did not have a website. That is all you, Brandy. That is all you.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for sharing that. That is so incredible. And that I feel like websites in this business, in our industry, in what we do, we've also talked about this, how it was also very taboo because I had to go through a whole layer of really emotional work, mental work, to even step out and do what I was doing because it was almost like you were made to feel like, no, if you're going to waste time on a website, then
Mhm.
you're not over here building your oily business.
Right,
And so if you don't earn this rank, if you are not reaching your goals, well, it's because you're spending time doing something else.
right.
And so I'm sorry, for a lot of years, it made me small. It made
Yeah.
me small. And I allowed that to happen as a
Hmm.
stay-at-home mom trying to figure out how I was going to help make an income for my family.
Yeah.
Essentially, you know? And I know it's so ironic when network marketing is supposed to be a is typically a side business for people,
Mhm.
especially if you are you work outside of the home. But for some
Right.
reason there was like this stigma. It's like if you were a stay-at-home mom, listen, yeah, you might be managing all your kids,
Mhm.
but you have pockets of time. And
Right.
those pockets of time could be spent, and that's true to some degree, connecting with people and trying to enroll and share what you're doing and loving. But also at the same time, if you have a heart's desire to show up as a professional and you want
Mhm.
to be a business owner, you're not just someone who wants to casually share a bottle of oil or your Nisha Red or something like that with people. Like what I'm loving that the community that's being created and Elevate, is that we are a group of business women. There are
Right.
holistic practitioners in there and fitness instructors, personal trainers. There
Mhm.
are, reading tutors and massage therapists and is everybody are professionals. And if you are a professional, you have to have a website, period,
Right.
because
Right.
it doesn't matter like, social media is fleeting. It's very fast paced. Like, we have learned that you have, like, an 8-second ability to catch their attention,
Right.
okay? And so there's so many distractions there. Even with a Facebook group, it can be very overwhelming. You're trying to organize everything into guides and then put your most important things as a featured pin post. So it
Mhm.
is great for a group because even since launching your website, I'll just do a plug for Digging Deep for root causes. You also started a Facebook group which now has, I don't know, well over like over 1,000
Yeah.
people that you get to serve in that way in your group, and you're building out an email list so that you're able to connect with these people. And I'm on your email list, so I've started to get like your weekly emails, which I love that.
Yeah.
And how cool that Good Oiling is starting to put together some done for you content.
Oh
I
yeah.
put mine in yesterday with some personal anecdotes. I kind of reworded it towards the person that I'm speaking to. So my email, if you're on my email list, and you're on your email list, the emails are going to be similar but different.
Yeah.
What you can even do with those, I'm just going to do this plug here because if you're somebody watching that and you're like, what? They do done for you content? Yeah, they started in March. They're doing it in April. This is 2025 at the time of recording this. And so you can take like this month that's on stress. So the way you're going to talk about stress and the way I'm going to talk about stress in business and as a stay-at-home mom are going to be two different ways. So if you can take the foundation of what they're providing for us, pop it into chat if you need to. Okay, that's what I did. And,
Yeah.
and pop that in there and adjust it so that it's your voice, what you want to say, who you want to talk to, and then go in and replace that. And if you're doing any online classes or in-person events, or if you want the introduction to be a little bit more personal and conversational because you're trying to create that like no trustability in email is not dead, contrary to what anyone says. People can opt out of text marketing super duper easy. And if they like what you are providing to them, they will open it, even if they don't do it the same day you send it. Right.
Yeah.
I am like that. I have emails that I open and I save and have folders. So just offer valuable content. And you can even take those and say you want to do a stress series. The only people that are getting that message right now are those that you send it to via email.
Right.
But you can take that just like I've instructed you to do. And now you can also turn it into a blog post. And then once it's in a blog post, you can extract a little bit of meat and potatoes out of there. And now you can funnel it into your social media so that you
Mhm.
have this flow of how you're showing up to serve. No matter where they're seeing you, they're seeing your stuff, but you're always directing them back to the full kit and caboodle over on your website because you have a website.
Right.
People that just do the stand stores. So you had a stand store, right? Why would you encourage someone to actually have a website over something like stand store?
Well, I actually just canceled my stand store, but because I know I need to do something else because I'm going to be in the process of writing ebooks and so forth. So to me, if I'm not mistaken, stand store is just a place for you to actually purchase something from someone.
Yeah, it's like a store. It's like an
Yeah.
easy, if you only have products to sell, specifically digital products or
Right.
affiliate links, it's a great place to put something.
Right.
But
Right.
you get so much more, and you can do that with your GetOiling that you
Yeah.
can't do over there.
I want to say for the last couple months, I've referred a lot of people to you, and a lot has to do with the Wild Notes template that you created, and I've had some personal conversations over Messenger or over a phone call, and a lot of people have asked me, "Well, do you find this beneficial?" Well, what's it like to work with Brandy? What has she done for you? Have you seen an increase? An uptick, in your Young Living business just because of the website? Because hey, it's a financial investment. It's a financial investment to have you do the work, and then it's a monthly financial investment or yearly with GetOiling. Okay, I get it. And so I've been able to share with these people since I've got almost next month will be 3 years under our belt of working with you and you customizing my website. And I can definitely say, yes, my business has improved. I have not only become a different, better, broader person in my sense of what I talk about and what I share and so forth now that I have a place, but I look at the other services that I offer almost as a lost leader. Because again, there's more to me than just essential oils, right?
Right.
And
Mhm.
so when one of my upline was asking, well, what has it done for your essential oil business? Well, let me tell you, because when I lead with lymphatic or I lead with a raindrop, and I get people from all different walks of life that come to me, I lost track. I used to keep count of, I've lost track over the last 8 years how many people I have enrolled with Young Living simply because they're on my table getting a lymphatic detox. That would not have happened if I had not led with the lymphatic. That would not have happened had I not had the website. I mean, it's just a complete circle. It's a domino effect that I've been able to lead with the website, and it has improved every area. I've enrolled people from nothing but looking at my recipes, and that's what I love about GetOiling, how it's so versatile. But Brandy, you taught me when I'm posting a recipe and I say, Okay, for example, my spice nuts. Okay, use cinnamon vitality. Deep link, hyperlink, whatever you call it, back to the website that has my sponsor number in. Here's what you convert. I use this one. I use this brand, or even if it is something else, organic, bleach white flour. Link it to my Amazon affiliate link, right? I have enrolled people from my recipes. Uh,
Yeah.
the Calendly, like you said. So the goal is that you don't have any outside sources, right? Everything is in-house. I don't want someone leaving my website to go to Calendly to book something.
Right.
And now we have a scheduling booking system. That's fairly new. That was what, last October.
Yeah.
So, another reason I love GetOiling is it wasn't like they just created this and this was it. Okay, we did good, we're done. They are constantly making improvements. Just because you, praise God, recommended they categorize all of our images. Oh my goodness, that's been a huge time saver. Greg is absolutely amazing. Coach, what's her name? Amanda? No, Ashley. She
Ashley.
she is absolutely amazing. So they are constantly improving. So
Right.
I would encourage you not only get oiling, well worth it, but what are you waiting for in terms of working with Brandy? I know Brandy in our question, one of them was, what's 3 words that would describe my experience with you? And that's so hard because, oh my goodness, here come the tears again. That is so hard because I wordsmith everything and I love to write. How can I narrow it down to 3 words? So the only thing I could think of to say is best decision ever. You have radically changed me as an individual and my business, all of my businesses and all the services and the Amazon and the healthy recipes. Your support that you give is phenomenal. How do you give this individualized, customized support and make me feel so seen and heard and valued when I know you've got other customers, right? There are times I work with you and I was like, well, there's no way she does this with everybody else. And I know there is. I know you do. I love our Marco Polos. I love how you're so personalized and so encouraging. Oh my goodness. Your love language has to be encouragement. It has to be. I don't really know. We've never talked about that, but it has to be because you have encouraged me in my personal life because we know a lot about each other personally. There are times we've cried together. You have encouraged me in my business. The way that you word things, like if you're not in a greater influence on someone's life, you have to be careful about speaking into their life because you might not be that greater influence or have that value that they will accept that. And the words that you choose, I mean, I can go back to my Facebook messages and look, and the things that you say to me, and I feel like that was my mom, I feel so awesome. Brandy said, I did a job. Brandy said she liked that banner that I just created, right? So you're so much more than just this digital web creator. Your talents are just immense. So if you're watching this video and you're not quite sure if you should hire Brandy or not, it's the old Nike slogan, just do it, because it's literally the best decision ever. I will forever be in your debt for what you have done for me and my business and my lifestyle. I can now speak about you in my home without having to say, okay, the lady who created my website, Brandy, I can just go, Brandy. He goes, yeah, I know Brandy.
Yeah.
You're talked about so much in this household, the impact you have had.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you for sharing that. I love to know that there are no words that can express, and that to me is why that is addicting to me in the best of ways. That feeling, knowing that I can have that kind of impact and influence on someone. I love the people that the Lord is bringing into my path. I believe they are all divinely appointed. I believe the people that I want to attract are those that are faith-filled, soul-guided. It's okay if we pray together before this interview, if we slather one up with, oils, where we're going to get to run and frolic in the lavender fields. Like, I'm sorry, I get so invested in you and your story and how you get to serve and help. And I've said this time and time again, to like sit in this seat and be able to help you further your mission, share your gifts, your talents, your skills, your education, experience, insights with other people. Like that's where the ripple happens. And even you, for me, just a few weeks ago, what people don't know, and I was very hesitant to share, is that for the last 3 years, I've really been this just closet designer, right? Like helping people from my office, almost having fear of standing out and being someone who is knowledge and has experience and can help serve you however it is that you need help. And I love to speak life and over people and encourage, because it does a lot for me whenever it fills me up. And I always want to be the love and light, right, of Jesus. And love like Jesus. And I want to inspire and encourage and motivate you to take aligned action so that you don't get stuck, so that we remove some overwhelm and we just kind of do it messy. And I'm encouraging my own self, to do that too. And then here 6 weeks ago, I thought that I might have to look for something outside of the home that was a steady, income in between kids' schedules and 4 times at the bus stop and all of this. And just from you being so open to share about me and say, oh, she said to share about her. You're not sharing about her. She said to share about her. I remember you telling me about the download that the Lord was just like speaking to you after just something that I had said, was like, if I created this resource and if it can help, fellow brand partners, like I would love for you to just to share it, and
Right.
let people know I exist and that I can help them. And then it just became this wave. It's like this tidal wave of inflow of exposure that I'm so grateful for. And so I owe you at the same time a debt of gratitude. And I believe it was just, again, the Lord like working that way. And I'm so excited to continue to do what I'm doing. And so I just want to say thank you. Thank you for taking that risk on me and seeing again my value then and my value now, and for being just not only a client, but just a dear friend. And I value our friendship. And so I just want to say thank you. Thank you for taking time to sit down with me today and share a little bit about your experience with GetOiling and then working with me. And I'll see you on your table on Friday.
Sounds good. Thank you. What an honor.
All right. And we'll talk next time. Bye.